Hi, and welcome back to the Lil Will Learning Company. Now, when I was a classroom teacher, spelling and how to teach spelling in the classroom, how to assess spelling in the classroom, should we give spelling tests? That was a very hotly discussed topic when I was teaching. There was a lot of the of teachers I worked with who insisted that, yeah, of course you should still teach spelling, and of course you should still give spelling tests. And then we would hear in professional development that, well, actually, there's not really much of a place for spelling in the classroom, and it doesn't really do what teachers are thinking. And I remember I got to a point pretty late in my career where I was going, well, then I don't really know what to do, but I'm going to stick with it. And what I would do is I would pick words that were really vocabulary words for that week, and they were all related to something we were reading, most likely with literature. The words themselves didn't really tie together in any way, shape, or form other than they were in the novel we were reading that week. And now, many years later, I kind of have to look back at that and go, okay, that was probably not best practice, because this video, which is about teaching spelling and the importance of teaching spelling, we're going to go over essentially that spelling actually is an important part of the writing process. I mean, and I'm sure many of you hear that, you go, well, yeah, duh, obviously. But well, for those of you who are maybe not in education, not teachers, and not in these professional developments, you'd be surprised how debated this topic is. And so you'll have to forgive me if I seem like it's like, well, duh, Paul, of course it's a important topic. But we're going to go over really the best ways to teach it across phases or stages, and for which grades, and how to basically apply it. Here's why spelling really matters for writing. A good comparison would be when a student is learning to read, first they learn phonics and decoding, but then they should learn fluency next, which really just means taking a particular excerpt, reading it out loud multiple times, and improving their fluency, their speed to an extent, but also their prosody. Like, do they put correct emphasis at certain points? Do they pause correctly at certain points? Do they read with emotion, or are they monotone the whole time? So fluency really helps with basically easing the demand on the brain for reading, because the more fluent a reader is, the less work it takes for the brain to actually read the words. And in a sense, spelling plays a very similar role, but instead of with reading, it's involved with writing. So when you teach spelling to a student, it's pretty early on. It's right after students are learning phonics, and the first little bit of spelling ties into phonics. But the main point is that when a student can spell correctly and spell correctly very consistently, it makes it much easier later on when they're writing sentences, then when they're writing paragraphs, and then essays, and then academically focused writing such as analysis and comparisons and so on and so forth. It just makes it easier on the brain. Like, well, yeah, I know how to spell that. That's easy. It's less for the brain to think about. It, in a sense, it makes writing more fluent. Spelling should begin very shortly after phonics is introduced to students. So, for those who may not know what phonics is, basically it's teaching the relationship between the letters and the sounds they make, and then how to basically blend those all together. So you start to learn, for example, short vowels, then long vowels, then digraphs, then blends, and so on and so forth. And we use all these sounds and blends and all this to form words. That's what we call decoding. And then after a student can decode, usually with reading, we start to teach them fluency next, and basically reading faster and more fluently, but that's also where we should start to teach spelling. So now that they know how to read that, they should also be writing at the same time. So the very beginnings of spelling should start with those short vowel words such as sat, mat, hat, or um, lip, or kit, those real short vowel sounds. And basically, when you're learning these phonics for reading, the spelling part should basically shortly follow right afterward as well. So we start with basic phonics and sound patterns first. And then eventually you can even start to put in basically sound or phonics families. So like AT, so set, oh, I used that earlier, but like sat, mat, hat, and it makes spelling those much, much simpler because they already connect the sounds and the letters involved, and that should really be the first steps of spelling instruction. And the huge benefit behind that is they really reinforce the pattern of that, not just the words. And when they're spelling those short vowel words or whatever blends or digraphs you're working on in phonics, it basically really strengthens both reading and spelling at the same time. Now, the phonics part of spelling, let's just say that's somewhere between kindergarten to first to second grade, or basically as long as it takes to learn that particular topic. But once phonics is moved on from, because there's only so much to cover in phonics, really. Let's just say around grade three, let's say grades 3, 4, and 5, that's where spelling leaves phonics and starts to be more focused on word study. So, what I mean by word study is um, basically learning syllable patterns, spelling rules, and then how words change. So, here's a good example. If you were looking at three words, run, hope, and happy. Now, if you were to change them into other versions like running, hoping, or happiness, you'll notice that basically you end up dropping the last syllable and replacing it with an I. So happiness is not Happynes, it's Happiness. Ness. Ooh, my mistake there. But the same for hoping. Hoping doesn't become Hoping. You drop the E and it becomes Hoping. So there's these rules that we start to introduce in the spelling patterns, and the students learn basically how words can essentially transform. So understanding those spelling rules, recognizing these word families, but then also it really increases their vocabulary at the same time. So that's usually around grades 3, 4, and 5, or basically once they've really understood all of the phonics rules, we start to introduce word study rules from there. So then after that, the next set of rules to learn for spelling is really roots, prefixes, and suffixes, or basically the morphology of words or the structure of words. So this is learning Greek and Latin roots, like I said earlier, prefixes and suffixes as well. So to give you an example of a root word, let's look at the word tract. Now, tract, TRACT, means basically to pull. And there's a lot of words that use tract as part of their word. Attract, subtract, contract, distract. And all of those have a meaning very similar to pull, but it's much easier for students to learn how to spell many, many words that use tract in it, because once you know how to spell tract, TRACT, then the prefixes and the suffixes that come from there, and basically the word families that are attached to that, you already know how to spell 5 of the letters anyway. And also, this is a part where a lot of vocabulary is greatly increased once again, because once you start learning what the prefix means, what the suffix means, what the Greek or Latin root means, it makes words make a lot more sense from there as well. And the major benefits of learning, of learning morphology and how to spell these words, is that, well, most of the words are built from word families anyway, so they get an incredibly stronger vocabulary. Their spelling increases immensely, and because their spelling increases, it greatly improves their reading comprehension. So again, most of this is just learning how to spell these words, but it has dramatic benefits again with vocabulary, and then thus greatly increases their reading and their reading comprehension at the same time. So again, to summarize, so grades, let's say kindergarten, first, second grade, it's the spelling is really focused on the phonics rules they're currently learning while they're reading. And then basically grades 3, 4, and 5, the focus is on word study. And then grades 6, 7, 8 really focus on morphology, such as the root words, prefixes, suffixes, etc. The benefit of this is that they learn that everything is basically a language system, and which then all of that greatly increases their spelling. But as I've pointed out earlier, it's not just improving their spelling, that then transfers to their writing, it transfers to their vocabulary and their reading comprehension as well. And with this system of learning to spell, it's not really about memorizing a list of words. It's really learning that English as a language system, how all of it works together. By using this system for those grades, it only takes about maybe 10, 15 minutes a day. I would actually argue it's more like 5 to 10 minutes a day, but it only takes a few minutes every single day for many years, and there's numerous benefits from it. So, spelling is important. There's a good system of how it should be taught that matches with the grade the student is in, and it helps again with not only spelling and then therefore writing, but then also their vocabulary and then their reading comprehension as well. Spelling's important. Don't skip it. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and come check us out, the Lil Will Learning Company. We have tutoring and mentoring services. We have personalized curriculum and year-long curriculum as well, along with educational materials for phonics, solving word problems, and arithmetic from beginning to end. All these books you can find on Amazon Kindle and on our website, lilwillco.com. And until next time, take care.